Greetings sailors and welcome back to World of Warships, and this time I'm going to look at the Iwami, which is not a new ship but is one I've somehow not covered on the channel before. Now this is one of the ships you can get from the armory for coal. It's one of the Yamato preliminary designs along with Heisen and Izumo. And the distinguishing feature of this is that it has the fewest guns. It's got 4 twin turrets, so it's 8 guns versus 9 of the Izumo, and it's very distinctive all-forward configuration. And the Heisen has got even more. Heisen's got 12, but Heisen is a little bit of a shotgun. It doesn't feel like those guns are especially effective, and even though Iwami has fewer of them, they definitely feel more accurate. On top of that, you've also got 10-kilometer torpedoes, and those are actually occasionally quite useful. People don't always necessarily remember that you've got these, and so sometimes you can catch them unawares. It does come at the expense, however, of aircraft handling equipment. So you don't actually get a catapult. You've basically only got the heal and the damage control going. Pretty standard setup here. I do have the main battery mod rather than the extra range, so it could be longer range than this, but I prefer the extra reload considering I only have got the 8 guns. In theory it's got, I think, slightly better AA than either of these two as well, but not really enough to make a difference. It's just like, you know, on paper it's there, but yeah, it's not really going to substantially change anything from playing either of those two. So let's take this into battle. This is actually one of my favourite Tier 9 battleships, weirdly. I think just because of the extra accuracy of the guns and the fact that it does have the utility of those torpedoes. But having said that, there are some other very good battleships at Tier 9. This is definitely one of those things where it comes down to personal preference. Anyway, we have a Tier 10 game, but not that many Tier 10s are actually in play. And it's a map I don't think I've played in a little while either. When's the last time I played Tears of the Desert? It feels like it's maybe even been like a week or 2 or 3. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I guess this is a high tier map, and I've maybe not been playing that many high tier ships recently. Well, having said that, I've played some tier 8s, and you can obviously see this map at tier 8, so I've definitely played some tier 9s and 10s and super ships as well. Maybe I've just been weirdly unlucky not seeing this map. The other battleship I considered doing this video is the Patrie, which is the tier 11 French super ship. But yeah, I decided to do this. This has been around a bit longer, and I think I've enjoyed playing this more. I certainly have more experience playing this ship than the Patrie. So yeah, I figured I'd give it a go. Because even if it's not a new ship, there are still going to be plenty of people that don't have this, with it being a coal ship, because there are quite a few coal ships now, and sometimes it can be tricky actually deciding which one to get. It's at least easier to save up and get the coal ships than it is to have to grind the Research Bureau ships, which require doing a set line of ships. Whereas of course coal ships, you can play any ship and get coal from containers and missions and of course the battle pass, which is now a thing as well. So Stalingrad, you're not really moving much. We'll see if we can do a bit of damage to you. You look like you're going to try and bow tank. To Flandre, firing HE. Oh, well, never mind. Didn't actually land any shots there at all. I want to... You're more broadside. So we'll have a go at you. see if we, you know, me having said, oh yeah, the guns feel relatively accurate. I mean, not really proving my point so far, but you know, you compare this to playing the Heisen. I think you certainly notice a difference. That's going to be Nebraska's planes, which, as we saw in the last video, actually can potentially be quite nasty if you're in a battleship. But they're going for the Charles Martel instead. So, no 10k hits for me. Is that sub within? Find that there, maybe? Not entirely sure. Oh, hello, Garrett. Oh no, that was way off. Right. Well, this is where maybe torpedoes come in useful. I should clear the turrets. Thought I might get a sneaky shot at that Shimanto, but alas, no. And we can put the torpedoes out on the other side. They're not especially fast, but sometimes it's useful to be able to have the torpedoes, and the angles, as you can see, aren't too bad either. They do have a useful range to them. Right, there we go, there's a hit. I don't think I've ever tried this with the range mod. I think there's probably not much reason to do it. I think the rate of fire is definitely more what you'd rather have. Right, you are completely stationary right now. Let's see if we can hit your... Oh, no, you're just... Okay, you could just tell from the smoke they're starting to move, but we've got no idea which way they're moving. They are reversing, yes. Okay, it's going to be about a minute till my next torps are available. There's the Flandre. Yeah, it's really, I think, just the gearing that's kind of keeping us being cautious right now. The sub as well. So we can get in a position to do something about that. Oh, is the sub actually possibly coming into where I can get them? Right, gearing. I mean, this gearing is a problem, but they also position themselves basically much too far forwards to make an effective getaway. And, yeah. I've been getting some secondary hits here. I don't know. I've never tried to do this as a secondary ship. I think the only... You can kind of, as a gimmick, do the key as a secondary ship, and even then it's not super effective because it's got the 100mm guns with the extra pen. It can be... You know, if you can get close enough, it can be sort of funny, I suppose, but... if you can get close enough is kind of a big question. But yeah, I don't think, you know, that would be something that the Japanese battleship tree doesn't have. We don't have a Japanese Atlantico or a Japanese Massachusetts or anything like that. But if we can take and keep control of this end. There goes the sub. Yeah, it's just the Nebraska and Stalingrad left here now. the Stalingrad's kind of forced themselves into a nose in, like they're there until they die, basically. If they try and turn around to get away, that'll just hasten their demise. So they're a bit stuffed. The Nebraska might be able to make a getaway. But yeah, there's no way the Stalingrad's getting out of this alive. See if they take some of those torpedoes. There's the Nebraska. Which, weirdly, I was going to say this in the last video, but it's like, it's one of those states in the US, because I'm sure for people in the US, you know, it's one of those things you learn at school, all the 50 states, but yeah, people outside the US will have heard of the states at various points, but it's like, yeah, it's one of those ones where it's sort of like, oh yeah, that exists. If that makes any sense. It's not one of the ones you sort of immediately think about when you're thinking about US states. Apparently, it's state beverage of Nebraska. I was looking this. I looked this up on on Wikipedia. The state beverage of Nebraska is milk, but they also have the state. I don't know what you want to call it. The state. Soft drink, I guess, is Kool-Aid. So yeah, considering the unfortunate associations that Kool-Aid has, which I don't know if they sort of embrace that or not. But yeah, it is very much a phrase that I think is most English speakers. Lexicon of you know, drinking the Kool-Aid. It's one of those unfortunate associations that really isn't the fault of the company, but yeah, sort of hard to get away from. That Schroeder was being awfully bold. It's not a particularly armoured ship. Do something to that bunker. We've not had any big hits so far, but the damage is steadily creeping up. Yeah, considering it's a broadside conqueror, it would be nice if that had been a bit more substantial, but never mind. Right, maybe I should have swung out wide where the Tirpitz is, and that would have been more sensible. Let's nose in towards the Jean Bar. This is not especially sneaky, but we're actually just now outside the edge of firing range for a bunch of these. Or spotting range. A bunch of these ships. Yeah, let's help out the ships on the flank first. Let's put Poppy Heel as well. Let's go in the Kitakaze, right? Yeah. Tirpitz is not going to survive on their own. They pushed in a bit hard, got a bit eager. Maybe they're a secondary spec Tirpitz and they were just like, this is it, this is my moment to shine. Go. Right, they do have the B-cap, which ain't ideal. But we are ahead on points. There's actually a lot of divisions in this one. I think the enemy team has one more division than we do. I just have clearance for my front turrets there. I think we're going to have to do an awkward sideways turn here. Yeah, that's got to be the Kitakaze spotting me. Hello, Jean-Bar. Right, the Nebraska's out of range. So that Tirpitz is still hanging on. Tirpitz B's moved forward. Scoot our torpedoes in there. Get another heal. It's a bit unfortunate that's a double fire, but we'll have to put that out relatively soon. Nebraska's almost down. Might land a blind hit there. I'm maybe being excessively cautious here. I just don't want to press in when both Udaloy and the Kitakaze could drop a bunch of torpedoes in an unpleasant fashion. Man, that Tirpitz is demonstrating the toughness of German battleships quite effectively there. For goodness sake. They should be probably dead and are somehow not. Okay, we're close to winning this one on points. Maybe I am being overly cautious. Kitakaze's all the way down there apparently. Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing away the chance to do more damage at this point. Oh well. Guess I'm not doing too terribly. I've just noticed there's actually... I don't know if that's new, that heat haze effect. That feels like it might be new. I've not noticed that before. Just to see it looking at the island. Let's get here. Udaloy's still there somewhere. I've not seen this Jean-Bar. I mean, they've been firing only HE at me, but they've only... Yeah, okay. I guess maybe that was because I was sort of bow on, so they decided that was the better thing to do. Sometimes in battleships you do have to reach for the HE. Sometimes it is the correct choice, as it were. In fact, let's go for HE ourselves, just because all that's left is destroyers. Right, so that is our last destroyer down. Yeah, I think these pair, this enemy C division, they seem to have done the most in terms of the actual, like, 5 kills between them. In fact, I think 6 kills between them. Yeah. Yeah, an effective destroyer division can definitely have a pretty outsized effect on the outcome of a game. Okay, I was very briefly spotted. Ah, that's got to be the Kitakaze. Yeah, presumably they are setting up so the Udaloy will spot and the Kitakaze will... Try and set some fires. Oh, hello Udaloy Torps. Udaloy of course does have a more than usual usable torpedo range, except fortunately for me they released them just at the point where they all missed. Gotta give them points for trying, even though they are on the ropes. Definitely got to give them points for trying. Right, I guess we'll see if the... Yeah, moving back and forth in the smoke, being quite cautious. Oh, Kitakaze actually killed the Lepanto. Martel going for the cap. Yeah, I think the smart play, it's tempting just to rush them. But, you know, they're going to know I'm coming because they're working as a pair. So the smart play is just stay alive. Be boring. Win the game. They've actually brought it to a state where they could, in theory, win this if we all derped hard enough. So definitely credit to those pair. Let's give them a compliment. They have more than earned all those medals. Yeah, this one might even just come down to time. We don't really have anything that can chase these guys. Oh, hello. That's the submarine surveillance. Salmon's playing a slightly risky game. But I think even if we lose the salmon at this point, it's not going to matter that much. That's another 40 odd seconds, so let's not hang around to... try and get those off. Less than a minute to go anyway. Man, this was close. I mean, one kill, not quite 100k damage. I've not had the biggest impact on this, but yeah. Turns out my caution going around here might have actually been more sensible than I thought at the time. Just with how well that pair of destroyers has been playing. As it turns out. Well, there we go. 1,000 points. Man, that was unexpectedly quite close. I got a fireproof out of that as well. Yeah, they more than earned their place at the top of that team. On a defeat, Kitakaze got slightly more XP than I did, and I had a pretty respectable 1,600. That was not bad. That was definitely not bad. That Tirpitz that, where are we? Survived for so long. The other Tirpitz apparently did quite well. Montana apparently did reasonably well. Yeah. That was quite an entertaining game, really. It was very close, as it turned out. You can never tell how matches are gonna... It's one of the things that keeps me playing World of Warships, is matches like that, where you just don't know, and it gets right down to the wire. And even if you lose, it's like, well, okay, that's just because they played better. Of course, you can equally have games where one team or the other just utterly and completely collapses and is totally outmatched. And yes, technically the other team still played better. But it feels fairer to say that, you know, the losing team played much, much worse rather than the other team played better. I still think there is effectively a difference between those two. Anyway, a couple of super ships this time. Yeah, no subs though. Parayamagiris might be an issue, but they're not in a division. In fact, there's far fewer divisions overall. There's one enemy division, and none on our team. So we'll see how that affects things. Well, given that I have no idea where the Yamagiris are going to be, rather than sail around on this flank and be torpedo bait, I'm going to head more towards the middle, I think. It can be a bit tempting because you've got all this open water here, but of course, with there being potentially 20-kilometre torpedoes in play. And this is not the most nimble battleship. So, yeah. It would be a tad risky, I think. Maybe a tad a bit too risky. If I was in a division with somebody in a destroyer or something that could spot, then I might consider it, but playing solo, it's generally a good idea not to trust your teammates until you've actually seen them, you know, do stuff. You know, which ones are going to be more reliable. But even then, sometimes I make the mistake of thinking, okay, I'll support such and such a ship, and they just YOLO in and get absolutely obliterated, and then that leaves me hanging out in the wind as well, which is never particularly fun. Okay, so there's the YOLO Emilio. There's the Republic. There's the Annapolis, who is just going to sit behind that lowish island, which is what I would do. Oh, I completely overcooked those shots, apparently. Yeah, I thought they were going rather faster than they were. So we can get some shots into that Annapolis. Overpan, overpan. Miss, 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 miss. Okay. Is that Republic HE? Not entirely sure. That's definitely Palmer and AP coming my way. It doesn't have the. It's like the Izumo and the highs, and it doesn't have that vulnerability in the cheeks, as it were. But yeah, you don't want to get caught broadside, especially. Mecklenburg there, yeah. Having a pop at. Okay, he accelerated ahead of my shells. Oh yeah, Schroeder's got the speed boost, so yeah, as you can quite clearly see from the massive plume of smoke. Well, the YOLO's about to go down. Can help out with that Z46 a little. Yeah, 1 overpan. Well, it's better than nothing. I don't think we actually know what's in the cap, but it's got to be a Yamagiri, but we don't know which one. Not. Mind you, just say we don't know which one. It doesn't actually matter at this stage. There's clearly one on the other flank, so this is the other one. But I don't know why I'm saying which one as though it makes a difference. I feel like I'm getting having gushed over the guns somewhat. I feel like I've had some broadside shots where I have gotten particularly unlucky with this so far, where it's been a lovely setup and then no payoff. But definitely getting some attention now. We are a bit outnumbered on this side. I think I'm going to pull into the lee of this island. In fact, I'm even... Can we just get unspotted? Yes, okay. Use the cover of this island to make a turn. And, oh, that's going to be the Yamagiri, isn't it? Yeah, I'm getting a bit focused right now. In a fashion that I'm not entirely fond of. We are certainly a bit outnumbered here. Oh, nice. Oh, that was... I was thinking it was going to be... Oh, surely it'd be that side's torps, but no, it's that side's torps. Right, that's the Schroeder. The rear turrets off on the Republic, who is firing a lot of high explosive, it seems like. I guess it's something you can do in the Republic, it's just I'm not sure why you would. There we go, that was a substantial hit. 10k, that's decent. There's the Z46. So trying to play with their speed a bit. Oh, never mind. Didn't need to make that torque drop, as it turned out. Okay, so apart from there being a Yamagiri still unspotted around here somewhere, yeah. Indianapolis is now just kind of left alone. Oh yeah, Yamagiri managed to get actually right behind them, and well, we saw them took half the Republic's health. So let's see if I get spotted. I'm gonna turn in a little bit just on the off chance there's, you know, some massive wave of torpedoes coming this way, but no, he's turning north. Okay. Thought he was trying to wiggle into that gap there, but apparently not. I mean, despite only having one cap, we are a couple of... I mean, it's one cap each, I suppose, but yeah, we are a couple of ships ahead. Ah, there's the enemy Yamagiri. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, they are evening the odds a bit, which I don't think I like. So we can get a lucky hit to help out the Yamagiri, because I don't think they're going to... certainly not going to make it with the Annapolis in play. No particularly good hits there, sadly. Okay, let's see if we can reset the Republic. We do still have one set of torpedoes, so who knows, we might get the chance to torpedo somebody in the face. Oh, okay, there goes ours. Yamagiri has killed Yamagiri. A bit of damage. Nothing spectacular. I really shouldn't have opened my mouth about these guns being reliable. I've apparently doomed myself to poor RNG by doing that. Where are you, Republic? Oh, there you are. Come on, RNG. Okay, that was about 13k. Not terrible. It's going to angle away from me now. Okay, the Annapolis finally down. Oh, they do also know that they have AP shells. Okay. They just wanted to set some fires on me, I guess. Here's where maybe having a secondary spec would be, you know, an edge case where it would be useful. One-on-one battleship, effectively. You don't get to do that often. Right, you're possibly going to switch back to high explosive, aren't you? Guess we'll see. No, firing AP, okay. I think we do have an island here we can use as potential cover against torpedoes. Okay, somebody... Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if... No, okay, he's just switching his targeting back and forth between me and the Conde. I was wondering if maybe the Yamato was targeting me from the other flag. Oh, that's Yamagiri torps. Okay, we might take one of those. Oh, never mind, they ran out. Nice, okay. So, there's the Yamagiri to the north, but I don't immediately have to worry about that. We're going to grab the cap. And... we can try and help out the incomparable a bit, I guess. Also, Yamagiri somewhere to the south. I would not want to be in an incomparable face-to-face with the Yamato, even with a low-health Yamato, but they are very low health. Oh, Conde. Oh. Good, good, good. Managed to dodge. So he's right there, okay. Question is, was that... I'm guessing that's... Actually, why did they smoke? That's kind of giving their position away. Don't know. Oh, there we go. Might even do slightly better damage-wise than last time, but I guess we'll see. Right, that indicates you are not in the smoke anymore. You are somewhere over in that direction. Kitakaze still got good health, incomparable, not maybe so much. The other Yamagiri, our Yamagiri's doing okay. Yeah, we're going to take this one on points. So, I mean, again, I feel like I've contributed and I've at least managed to do some damage and get one kill, but yeah. I don't think I've been hugely influential, but I think I've contributed to the team's win, even if I haven't been, you know, one of the main players in this match. But I do still, I like Iwami, even if this hasn't been the best showing for the Iwami. I do find it to be a pleasantly reliable ship. Yeah, I don't think we're going to catch sight of these Yamagiris before the game ends at this rate. We are very, very close. So there it is, not quite as much damage as last time, probably a worse score. Actually no, it was about the same. I guess. 1600, that was... Not, that's like 20 XP or something less than last time. That was weirdly consistent. Yamagiri did very well there, 2600, we'll give them a compliment. Yeah, that wasn't as interesting a game, even if I ended up somehow scoring almost exactly the same. But, you know, 2 wins, I'll take it. You never know when you play these live sessions, if it's going to be, you know, wins, losses, whatever. So, yeah, Iwami, I quite like it. This maybe wasn't its best showing. It can certainly do better than that. But, as I said, it remains a pleasantly solid tier 9 for me. Certainly, if I was offered the choice between Heisen and Iwami, I would take Iwami to play pretty much every time. But I'm sure there's somebody out there that feels the exact opposite, because there always is. Anyway, so that's it for this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed it, and if you have, you can do all the usual things down underneath it. And of course, as always, stay tuned for more.